Good morning, everyone. This is Christina within the garden, and today we are going to replant our vertical Greenstalk planter. As you might remember, we took out a lot of our onions, eggplant, and other items and planted it down in the shop garden as well as the raised beds. So today we get to do a really easy job of replanting the vertical planter, so a Greenstalk garden, and some things you want to do in preparation. So I have set aside all of the seeds that I want to plant, and then when I purchased some new items from Greenstalk, I purchased these plant labels. So these go right over the edge and face this way. Now, some of the plants that I plan to have every year, I went ahead and wrote in permanent marker on these. I did buy quite a few of them, so I'm not overly worried. But things like basil and thyme and parsley and cilantro, I went ahead and wrote in permanent marker right on the metal. Now, some of them that I was not sure that I'd plant again are up here in the vertical planter are things like sunflowers and forget-me-nots and shallots and radishes, okra, things like that. So I went ahead and wrote on tape, this is just a butcher's tape, and then I put it right on there. Now, my husband did point out that it's likely that as I water this, because I like to water, not that it's needed to water from the side, but you can water from the top, and the whole point of the vertical planter is to water the top reservoir, and it'll go all the way down. But I like to just kind of water it because it's part of my watering routine, and that might make it to where this tape doesn't stick. So if that's the case, that's all right. Some tips for planting in a vertical stacker is I laid them all out. I'm going to put the labels in so I can plant accordingly. Then I'll plant the seeds, then we're going to cover with dirt, and then we're going to stack them. One of the things that we're going to be planting today are our herbs from our windowsill planter. One second, let me grab that for you. You have seen this before in other videos. This is a variegated metal, kind of like a shabby chic seed planter that you can put in your kitchen window. We've got basil, thyme, parsley, cilantro, and dill. And we're going to put this on a mid-level tier in the Greenstalk because the lower tiers I want to reserve for things that grow very tall. You might not want to plant something that's going to get more than a couple inches tall at the very top, right? We live in a windy area, and so you might want to plant your height accordingly. So I'm going to put this on a mid-level. As you can see, the dill gets pretty tall, but we wouldn't want to put the dill on the top level of the vertical, I don't think. You could if you like, but I don't want to put this on top because I don't want it to get blown to pieces on the top. So we're going to plant these mid-level, like I said. We're going to take our seeds and direct sow them. And for the sake of time, we're going to do a lot of this on time lapse, and then what I'll do is go over it all at the end. I think you'll like that better, so I'm going to get started on this. But again, we're just replanting our vertical Greenstalk. The cool thing about these planters is you can plant them multiple times a year. So just like any kind of succession planting, or if you like to do spring and summer and cool crops, you can plant cool crops, which we will toward the end of the year and going into the fall, which we could do cabbage and cauliflower and other items toward the end of the year that would be great. We could even plant pumpkins in this. You could plant the pumpkin on the lower tier and let it vine out. Totally up to you. But let's get started on this, and I'll catch up with you at the end. Okay, so just to recap, this one's going to be the bottom. So we haven't planted yet, but we've got chives, and this is a mint that volunteered from last year. We're going to put a cherry tomato that Greenstalk actually sent me. So a cherry tomato, Probably doesn't need a lot of room, but we'll see how big it gets. So we're gonna plant that here. And I'm gonna try to plant 2 sunflowers. These are dwarf sunflowers, so teddy bear sunflower and gummy bear. And then we have an opening here. So I'm gonna wait and think about what I wanna put there. And then back here we've got shallots, forget-me-nots for flowers, butter beans, a bush butter bean, and some cilantro here. And then over here we've got French breakfast radishes. We've got snowball turnips, chamomile. That one is a butter lettuce, an okra, and a radish. And then over here we've got our dill, parsley, basil, and thyme. Now I've got the whole other one there. When I was making these tags, I thought, oh my gosh, I have so many, I'm not gonna have enough room. And in fact, I've got an opening here, an opening here, and a whole one down there. So I'm gonna go ahead and plant these, and then we'll see what else we've got in our packet. I'll probably do flowers in some of these, because I do like the vegetables that I already have. So maybe we can add some flowers to these, okay? Let's get going. Okay, so technically this tier is done. This is kind of your herb trio. Well, 6 items actually. So basil, rosemary, chives, dill, parsley, thyme. Now the thyme didn't root in a ton, so that one broke loose pretty easily. And then the basil was super bound. The root system was, so it'll love being in a bigger area. Now I'm inclined to start stacking these because the last one, we have a pocket and we can still fill it, so we still have time to do that. We have 1 pocket there, but these 2 are done. So I'm gonna go ahead and start stacking these. Okay, quick recap. So, bottom row, we planted cherry tomatoes, 2 different kinds of dwarf sunflowers. Then I went ahead and put in the last pocket some Shasta daisies. Those will actually get really tall, so we might have to take them out of here eventually. Volunteer mint, and then chives. Then we have French breakfast radishes, shallots, and forget-me-not flowers. These stickers they sent to us, so I went ahead and put them on the radish row here. I thought that was really cute. We got butter beans. These are a pole butter bean. This is a bush butter bean. These will start here and we can transplant them. Then we've got our cilantro from inside. Okay, and I think we already did French breakfast. So let's move up here. We've got okra. Oh, sorry, my allergies are terrible still. We've got the second set of radishes we planted. I went ahead and threw celery in here. And then we have turnips. Then we've got some chamomile. Okay, and we're back to butter lettuce, and then we started with okra. So then I planted the dill from the kitchen. These chives we planted in a previous video. This was volunteer rosemary and basil from the kitchen, thyme from the kitchen, and parsley from the kitchen. And then we're back to our dill. Now what I did for the top. Okay, so these are all flowers that are gonna get fairly large. You can take a row off and set it on the ground. What I'm probably gonna do is let these grow and then set this tier on the ground and then just water it from there. I always come out and water the patio anyway, so I think I'll be fine. So we've got 3 kinds of milkweed. This one's butterfly, common, and not that one. Oh, rose milkweed. Then we have English daisies, nasturtium, and marigolds. So that's what we planted today. I love this vertical planter because it's an easy area to grow extra plants, and we sit out here all the time, so I like watching them grow. So I hope you liked it. Please like and subscribe if you have time, and hopefully we'll see you in the next one. Have a good day.